Welcome back to the last part of the WNBA Mock Free Agency / Offseason. If you've been with us this long, you know what's happening, so I won't waste your time explaining it. I do want to tell you that we have a full recap of everything that's happened in all three parts of the Mock Free Agency on herhoopstats.substack.com. Also, if you've been with us this long, just subscribe to the YouTube channel or to the podcast or follow us on all of social media or do all of those things, please. Part 3 starts with Sylvia Fowles' retirement decision, and we go through some great players like Jordin Canada, McCoughtry, and Stef Dolson. So let's get on with it. Part 3 of the WNBA Mock Free Agency / Offseason starts now. After careful consideration and seeing how the chips have fallen, Sylvia Fowles has actually decided to come back to play in the WNBA. She would like to return to Minnesota. If Minnesota, what's your offer to Sylvia Fowles?
What do you want? We love you. You're a cornerstone, and we have you were coming off contract, right? I think from the last CBA, so we're definitely willing to offer you the Supermax.
Okay. League office. She can sign this contract and then retire, and then it's all gone, right? Not this year. I'm talking about like next year. It's fine.
Yeah.
There's no ramifications for that. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. Yeah. Then let's do. How many years can you offer me the Supermax?
Well, what are you looking for? Given, do you want to sign a really long-term contract, or do
because I could just retire. That's not my problem. She can retire, and then the contract goes away if she wants to retire next year. But she'll take the money up on the just like guaranteed.
I would just chime in and say this might be the situation for partial year guarantees.
Yeah, we're really obviously we're not.
So what I was trying to get at is let's say it is a 3-year deal, and after year 2 she's like, I'm done. Then it would possibly make it easier to get her off the salary cap for that 3rd year.
Yeah, I guess I thought maybe you were going to want to do 1 or 2 years and then see what the world looked like.
Well, but yeah, the thing is though, if it's between I'm going to make the Supermax, and it's the only team she wants to play for. So I rather just take as much money as I can now, and then I'll decide if I want to retire in the future. It doesn't stop me unless it makes it, if Minnesota has a really good reason to not give me that, then I'd be willing to listen to it, obviously because of our relationship. But I think
Collier going to the Supermax next year makes it practically unrealistic for them.
Okay, let's just we'll keep it simple. I'll stop trying to get cute. We'll do the 1 year Supermax. Let's do a 2-year Supermax. The 2nd year is not protected. That
would be great. Yeah, I will say I haven't gone through all the different permutations of that, but certainly we want to make sure we can sign Collier. We already have McBride, Powers, and Chanwa signed protected salaries at pretty significant numbers for 2023 as well. So
yeah, and then if she wants to come,
we'll work it out, right?
So
I'm not worried about the long term. You're a part of this organization, so
yeah. She'll take first year protected on that, and then 2nd year not protected, and then if we have to release that contract and re-sign to someone different, we can always work that out next year, because there is a reason to not do that, as Seattle was just so kind to point out. Just really
very knowledgeable. So that's great. The other key piece of work for Minnesota is, I think, Layshia Clarendon. Should we talk about them?
Yeah, they loved being in Minnesota. He had a great year as soon as he got there, and they'd like to return. So what you got for Layshia? What's your offer?
So I'm going to be intrigued to see what the market is doing here, but I guess I was thinking somewhere, let me make sure I'm not messing up with my plans here. What would you think about a number in the range of around 125,000 for next year?
1 year?
Yeah, that's probably safer.
And you do have a guarantee, you have a protect spot. So would that be on the table?
Yes, that would be on the table.
1 year, 125 protected for Layshia Clarendon. Does anyone want to beat that? Nope. All right, sold. Layshia Clarendon coming back to Minnesota.
Yeah, maybe, right. I guess maybe I overbid there, but
no, I think that's fair, and that would entice no response from anybody else. All right, moving on to probably the biggest name left here, McCoughtry. So she tore her ACL. She's coming back though. She expects to be fully healthy. She's come back from this injury before and played pretty well. Obviously, there's rehab problems and injury problems that could come up that could prevent her from playing, but she's planning on coming back. So where are the offers for Angel McCoughtry, who wants the former MVP on their team? She wants to win a title. Keep that in mind.
Storm here, we
Angel
definitely have interest in McCoughtry. Kind of before we see where the others offers roll in, thinking around 1 year, 100,000 range.
Okay. All right. So 1 year, 100,000 from Seattle. That's a great opportunity, obviously, to win a title. Anybody else? Phoenix/LA. Do you have something?
Yeah, Phoenix has no money, but if you're really interested in winning a title, we did make the finals last year, and we think you would fit right in at our starting small forward spot. So
at the minimum,
85 we could get to.
Okay.
Atlanta's willing to spend some money if you're interested in coming back. I understand it might not be, but
homecoming.
I will say this for Atlanta. Since there's a new system there, they do have a chance. It's not quite the Tina Charles New York situation, but it's just not the title opportunity. So no offense, Dream, but we hope you guys. We wish you all the best. Maybe there's a marriage there in the future at some point. But anybody want to beat Seattle's offer? All right, Seattle, 1 year, 100,000. And that does that have to be let me see. Oh no, you guys can throw.
Yeah, we can protect it.
Yeah, protect that for me. All right. Yeah. Awesome. Jesus.
What does the forward room look like in Seattle right now?
It's a lot of players.
Tina Charles is probably going to primarily play center for us.
Okay.
So we see McCoughtry playing a little 3 and a little 4, same as Katie Lou.
Yeah.
Well, Seattle was restocked for at least 1 year. All right. So Angel McCoughtry off the board. Let's get into Stef Dolson, championship winner, had some huge plays in the finals. For my money, she's one of my favorite centers in the league. That's Gabe talking as her agent. She is the best center by far available on the board, and she's better than a lot of the ones that went off. So who has offers for Stef Dolson?
Chicago would give her everything we can to bring her back, but that's not a lot. So we have to prepare her for that. What's offering it? We're talking 98,000.
Can anybody beat that? Guys, come
I
on.
think the Sparks currently have 3 centers and are hoping that Maria Vitita comes over this summer. So no.
Okay.
Atlanta can definitely do 100,000 and continue the conversation.
Yeah, no, we need Atlanta to go significantly above 100,000. Because Chicago's the place we played. I'm sorry, what was the offer from Chicago? It was 93, 97,
98.
I think it need to be a little bit more from Atlanta. A significant amount above that 98 to get me to go to a place that doesn't have a title chance next year.
What's significant in your mind?
What's significant?
25% more?
Give me like 120 at least.
Sure, we would be happy to do that.
2 year? Can we? Or do you want to do? Are we doing 2 years, 1 year?
I think we would do this. We would do this 2 years, I think.
Okay. Slap on a protection and we got yourselves a deal.
Wait, now where are we on the protection world?
You have 4 protected contracts at the moment.
And we said 2 years, 120 protected. So I'm just trying to think about it. Sure. Yeah, we will do that.
All right. Sold. Stef Dolson going to Atlanta for $120,000 with a 3% raise, protected.
Tiana Hawkins is under contract as shown in our sheets at 144, but it's 144,200 for next year, but it's unprotected. So definitely pretty unlikely that it's not looking great, because I guess that's the way to put it.
So are you going to release Tiana Hawkins? Well, you can wait until training camp. So, yeah, you can wait until training camp.
But I just thought I'd mention that.
Riquna Williams, as Richard pointed out, is still on the board. Anybody want to make offers to Riquna Williams? A great Miami Hurricane who plays great in the playoffs. You guys know what she does. She's been doing it forever. So Riquna Williams on the table. Who's got offers? Years and dollars, people. Tell me.
Las Vegas would be interested in bringing her back if she is willing to take around 90,000 per year.
Yeah, that seems a little low, but if that's the offer on the table, someone can beat 90,000 for 1 year for Riquna Williams, player who can play in the playoffs for you.
Storm here, we do 1 year, 100,000.
They can do that.
We would replace Epiphany Prince, who's not
Oh.
unprotected, with Riquna Williams.
Okay, and that would be another unprotected deal. Yeah.
Yes, we would need to not have that contract be protected because of our limitations. Or 1, 2, 3, 4. No, we
Well,
could
you
do one
have
more
Brianna
protected.
Stewart's protected. So you got 4. You could totally give me a protection on that.
We have 5. Stewart, Lloyd, Bird, Charles, McCoughtry.
Right.
I mean, we would prefer to do it unprotected just so we have that option for our restricted free agents. I mean, we're not going to cut you. There's a reason we're signing you right now.
No, yeah. If it's not protected, I'd like to get a second year on that with the 3% raise from 100,000.
No problem.
Okay. Las Vegas, can you beat that?
No, we cannot.
Anybody else for Riquna Williams? Stop letting Seattle sign all of the free agents, people. Lord.
It's just
All right.
Phoenix has so many guards. I don't see where Riquna would play.
I know, but all right, that's done too. Apparently, $100,000 unprotected with 3% raise, so that's a 2-year contract.
Yeah, and then we are officially waiving Epiphany Prince to make that deal.
Okay. All right, so let's go through this and talk to teams that have not. Say probably Connecticut. Connecticut, do you have anyone in mind that you'd like to talk to?
Yeah, so Connecticut would like to have a conversation with Briann January and see where she's at for this off season.
She's happy. She was happy in Connecticut. She liked her role. If that role is still available to her, which it seems like it is, she's just talking years and dollars. So what do you got for me?
So we are definitely interested in bringing back Bri Jan. She was huge for our defensive lineup, obviously all defense. The problem is, we really don't have too much cap space for her. So she would have to take a discount from what she was making last year. So, I mean, happy to try to move some things around, but, it probably wouldn't be anywhere from like 79,000 to, I think I could make 84 work, but, we're very tight. And so, Bri Jan seems very happy in Connecticut. We competed last year. I think we're able to make that same run again this year. So she's willing to help the team out. That would really be appreciated. But, we definitely don't want to undervalue her or make her think that we don't appreciate her in Connecticut. So
no, she feels appreciated, but if there's someone who has more money for her, she would like that. So anybody.
Did you say 84?
I don't have to explain what Briann January does for your team.
Well, push some numbers around while other people talk.
So who's got
2 years 90?
2 years 90? Would that be protected?
We can protect that.
Can protect that.
Mm-hmm.
That's looking pretty good from Phoenix. Anybody else? So 2 years 90 from Phoenix protected. Anybody can beat that?
She's willing to go back there after they dumped her in a trade.
And if you want to contend,
it's 2 years.
bygones be bygones.
No, it's not that huge of a difference, but the protections on both years. If Connecticut could go, I feel like Connecticut should be able to get up to 90. Am I missing something here?
So my rough math is that they can get to about 89 and a half if they want to retain their number 1 pick or their first round.
Mm-hmm.
In that scenario, do we cut Dejanay, or is that with Dejanay's contract?
That's keeping Carrington. Yep.
What if we offered in Atlanta like 100,000?
Yeah, that's more money there. That'd be very enticing. So Atlanta, you want to go 100,000, 2 years guaranteed as well? Because that's a significant amount above what Connecticut can offer.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Think about the guaranteeing, but we're guessing that you'd be a positive influence as we're looking to kind of change our culture.
And Briann has her title, so the title's not quite as important, I'd say, in her list of things. So the money.
Think about
the money
who else
nice.
We're still gonna discuss. I prefer not to guarantee it since we're paying the premium of 100,000 with the raise.
Well, all right, Connecticut, you're guaranteed. All right.
What'd you say?
You're going to guarantee me at what, 89?
I guarantee we're not going to cut you, but
is that a 1 year or 2 years?
Look at poor Tiana Hawkins, about to be cut.
Well, it's a big difference, 100 versus 144.
So is Connecticut offering me a protected contract is the question. 2 years protected.
I'm sorry, what is the line? It would be 89.5.
Yeah.
Both years or?
But and a 3% raise over 89.5 for the second year.
Yeah, we'll protect your contract.
Okay, I'll stay.
Not enough.
Huh?
That's not enough. We would have to protect it to make it worth your while at $10,000 more.
Yeah, I mean, because only $20,000 in the grand scheme of things, and that is good money. It's just like I do like being in the championship mix, and I'm gonna get like there's more opportunities for me, as I've mentioned before, playing in the playoffs. Phoenix, love the offer. It's just, as Richard mentioned, not super crazy about going back there, especially if Connecticut still wants me as offering something close to what you guys can offer, which they are. So unless Atlanta can get up to like 110, 150, 110, I think 110, get up to 110 with the protections.
No, I think I'm worried we need the protections to sign someone else.
All right, we're going to Connecticut, making the move, coming back to Connecticut, 89.5, starting with the 3% raise, protected into 2023. All right.
And right, league office, quick question. There's value for Atlanta in not using all of the protected spots because that would let us trade for someone later that's protected, right? We're not gonna be able to pick up a 7th protected spot if we sign 6 now and then there's a salary dump mid-season, correct?
Right.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's all the more reason I want to save it.
We do have a completed trade to announce.
Oh wow.
Sabrina, you wanna announce that?
Yeah, so the Sparks are trading Chrissy Tolliver to her new home where she's a coach for the Dallas Mavericks. And we'll be getting back Mariah Jefferson and the number 7 pick in this year's draft.
All right. Good deal.
Yeah, I think that works out for both teams.
No, and I think the going to Dallas thing is probably a big deal for Christy because she had her most success when she was coaching and playing in the same city. So, well, I guess not her most success ever. Her most recent success.
I also think it's less, it's more feasible for LA to cut Mariah Jefferson if they need extra, roster spaces for young players than it would be to cut Chrissy Tolliver. So.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, I like that trade a lot.
What was the draft pick again? Sorry, I just want to make sure I get it right.
It was this year's 7th pick.
So Dallas's own pick as opposed to LA's pick.
So LA and Dallas will be drafting in each other's spots this year.
Oh, the Dallas LA connection over the years has produced some interesting trades. Indiana, do you want to call out any players to potentially talk to?
We would have interest in Crystal Bradford.
Oh, sure. But
Aaron didn't mention it, but I was assuming that they didn't make the qualifying offer to her.
Yeah, again, I think based on everything that's been reported, it's hard to see that. So as much as she played well, and we might soften from discussions, it seems for these purposes, let's say she's available.
Okay, well, so completely unfair situation for her in Atlanta, I'd say. So as her agent, she is expecting, a salary commensurate to what she did last year. She was a great player, and all she did was stand up for her teammate, and it happened to be filmed and posted online by said teammate. So anyone gonna make an offer for Crystal Bradford, Indiana? I think you have the floor.
Well, yeah, she's had 1 year basically in the league, so we feel she's still got quite a lot to prove, even though we're obviously impressed by what she did last season. But then things broke down. So something like 2 years starting at $90K.
Yeah.
So that's more than the vet minimum, but
that seems good. Is anyone going to beat that?
I mean, we don't have that kind of money, but we would be interested in Crystal Bradford in Phoenix for 80 in a winning situation.
She's obviously going to get more opportunity to show what she can do in Indiana. More likely to be playing time.
Yeah, I
mean, there's not a lot of forward depth in Phoenix, so
that's also true. And
there is room for her to play here. And currently, we're only carrying 2 bigs in Griner and Turner. We expect to use Turner as our backup center. So power forward, there will be plenty of space for Bradford to play there.
And you're saying it's a 2-year deal?
Nope.
1-year deal.
Yeah.
And Indiana was a 2-year deal.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yep.
Okay. Indiana was a 2-year deal. Are we protecting that?
for something that low, I don't think we can take up one of our protected spots.
So is it really a 2-year deal then?
That's what I was about to say. You know what? I want Phoenix. I think Phoenix is a good opportunity for her, and she is going to get a lot of playing time, and she may be doing it in the finals, and that's going to set her up for more things in the future. So I'm sorry, Indiana, but she is signing with Phoenix 1 year, $80,000. Can we protect that? You can.
No.
You can. You won't. Can you won't? But that's fine. You're not going to cut me this year because you don't have a choice at this point.
Agreed.
Yeah, so that's fine. That's a good gun to your head relationship. All right, let's move on to Seattle's restricted free agents, and we're going to start with Jordin Canada. Do you want to make an offer to her first, or would you like her to go get an offer?
I think go get an offer and bring it back to us.
Okay. Anybody got an offer sheet for Jordin Canada?
Sparks could be interested in Jordin Canada.
UCLA grad.
Yeah, we do love the local girl, not just UCLA. She went to high school here as well.
Oh, yeah.
And she gets the loudest cheers of anybody when she comes to play in Staples Center. So, or I guess crypto.com arena the next time she plays here. But Jordin Canada, we would be interested in 3 years starting at 105.
3 years starting at 105, 3% raises.
Mm-hmm.
And no protection on that, though, because you can't do that.
Correct. No protection on that.
Okay. So
hold on.
It's pretty good. So it's 100, starting at 100, 3 years. Anybody could beat that?
I'm intrigued by that. We could do maybe 110.
110?
In Atlanta.
3 years starting at 110 in Atlanta. And I'd be the starter, probably.
Yeah, I mean, we've got some young talent, but presumably
you'd be starting here as well. We just cleared out Christy Tolliver.
Oh, right, that's true.
Yeah, you'd be starting next to Erica Wheeler, so that relieves you of some of the primary point guard responsibilities.
Yeah, that also puts on a lot more shooting responsibilities, which are
Erica can shoot.
Sure. The shooting responsibilities are much scarier for Jordin Canada. Okay,
we don't care about that in Los Angeles.
That's true. It is accurate.
Well established.
All right,
we like people who can defend, and I think you would fit quite well in our system.
Okay, we can get 3 years, 110. That's a significant chunk more. I think Atlanta is actually a pretty.
We can match that.
We can match it. Okay, so So who's gonna then? Atlanta, can you go up? Let's get up to 120. Come on.
Sure, we can do 120.
All right, 120, 3 years. 3 years, protect the 120 for Jordin Canada. Anybody else want to get in on the Jordin Canada sweepstakes?
What about 115?
That's less than 120.
But I think it's a better opportunity here in your hometown.
No, I know, and it is attractive. It's just this is. I think the money is substantially different. I think the situation in Atlanta is going to be stronger. And Atlanta, you're protecting this contract, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so if Atlanta's protecting the contract,
well, Storm here. Let's jump in.
Yeah.
So the most we can offer you is starting at 111,953. We might want to leave like a few dollars so we can sign a 12th player on the last day of the season.
Okay. So it'd be 100. We can make it 100.
We get a little bit more than that actually, because we could potentially waive Kennedy Burke. So if we start at 115 protected 3 years, 3% raises each year, do you want to stay here in Seattle?
Yeah, I think so. I think that'd be better. I mean, because obviously getting I should sign the offer sheet because then you have to match it, and then that'll make my client
we
more
physically
money.
can't match the offer sheet if
it's better.
Over.
How high would we need to go to get you out of Seattle?
It would have to. I mean, so it's 111. I would say you have to go up to like 130 because the situation in Seattle is so
130.
Yeah, the situation in Seattle is good. I've been there. It's the place that I can play, and like people notice that I don't shoot as much when I'm playing behind Sue Bird. So it's a good fit.
3-year deal.
It'd be a 3-year deal, correct? 3-year protected deal starting at 111 or 100 at 115.
Yeah, let's say.
Well, I'm just saying if we were to clear up the money, it would be 130 unprotected for 3 years. You'd be willing to come to LA for that.
It's just unprotected. It's tough.
So we should not try to clear the money, is what I'm hearing.
I do. She would love to be in LA.
130.
Is Atlanta saying anything? What happened to
We're-
Atlanta? Their
we're-
phone
We would
died?
do 130 unprotected for 3 years if you would come to LA.
Can I get
Well,
like
we
a
would
wink,
do-
wink, nudge, nudge that you're not going to cut me?
No.
We do 135 unprotected for sure.
All right. Let's just see what 130. That's a lot of money. 135, 3 years.
Unprotected.
Oh, unprotected.
That's what I said.
No, you know what? I'm making it less complicated. She's going back to Seattle. The money is different, and there's a substantial difference in the money. However, the protection is there, and I do not trust LA or Atlanta to not cut me. And I think the situation in Seattle is really good, and I have so much.
We don't cut
Passion.
anyone. We find roster spots for everyone. Okay. Sydney
Sure.
Weiss got her spot in Washington last year. Stephanie Watts even got a brief spot in Chicago last year. We find places for people.
Yes, under this administration, we'll see how long that's still happening. All right, I like Seattle. I think that's a better situation for me. So coming back home, well, not home, to my adopted home in Seattle.
How much is left for Sue Bird at this point?
She's still taking the 170K.
Yeah.
Okay.
We just
This
have
is an
to.
incredible roster that the Stormers assembled.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to keep one of the 3 second-round picks we have. Will be competing for the 11th spot on the roster at this point.
And that's and then we have Stephanie Talbot, who has the best. Like, give me your one best shot offer right here for Stephanie Talbot. Wait, can you guys resign Stephanie Talbot, Seattle?
We technically can no longer afford her qualifying.
Okay, so-
Well, we could afford a qualifying offer because that counts as a camp contract, but not anything beyond that.
Right. So, but would you be? I mean,
We'll rescind
let
the
her-
qualifying offer.
That's very much appreciated as our agent. Thank you very much, especially for all the good things that various agents have done for you today. Let's okay. So
Does Seattle have a waived player incoming? Kind of have to, right?
No. Why?
Because I'm seeing.
Yes, actually, we have to waive Kiki Herbert-Harrigan and Kennedy Burke, I believe.
Oh,
Got
no.
it.
Wow.
However, will you cope?
Since Kevin has to go, do you want to give like your final thoughts?
Well, this worked out beyond my wildest dreams for the Storm. I was very concerned that Jewel Lloyd was going to leave going into this.
That was the plan.
My actual plan A was to try to bring in McCoughtry at that like 150K price point to create some bench scoring. And then it was like, well, why not offer it to Tina Charles as well? And she came, and then we got McCoughtry for way less than that, and Riquna Williams for that price. So, I mean, you're now looking at bringing back the same starting lineup from last season with the bench of Canada, Riquna Williams, or I'm sorry, not the same starting lineup because Tina Charles is in place of Mercedes Russell, but a bench of Jordin Canada, Riquna Williams, Angel McCoughtry, Ezzy Megbagor.
Yeah. All the ESPN experts are picking you to win the title.
demanding that you win the title.
Myself apparently included. Also from Dallas's standpoint, like not a lot we could do in free agency, but just kind of trying to bring in a little more experience, become more competitive. We've puts those veterans around the young core pieces that we have in place. Clearly, we didn't feel that Charlie Collier, despite being last year's #1 pick in a draft that maybe did not prove even as strong as people thought it was going to be going in, which is saying something. So, moved her and Isabel Harrison to get Cheyenne Parker, and then Mariah Jefferson in this year's second first-round pick to get Christy Tolliver. So 2 veteran additions to go with the young core.
Okay, Aaron, do you need to do anything before you have to go?
I mean, Atlanta roster is not totally filled out, but we're basically there.
Yeah, you're done there.
So, I mean, the reality is, I think at this point, it's just kind of there's occasional players, and I apologize for the noise in the background. Occasional players that are mildly interesting, but none of them are really going to be material. Atlanta, on the whole, right? We picked up some players we think are going to be bargains, but we're really just trying to kind of reset where we are and look into the future. We tried to get some of the talent that was on the free agency market, but struck out. And so, particularly interested to see what Diamond DeShields could do, right? She sort of most fits into our timeline, probably, I think. Excited for getting, a top pick as well as a second pick in the second round this year. And then, depending on how things look, we might have a good pick again next year as well. And that is Minnesota, right? The key kind of wrinkle is just, could we bring Fowles back? I mean, I think we're still pretty optimistic about the quality of the team. Obviously, we felt great about it despite how the playoffs went. And so it'll be intriguing to see what can happen. Obviously, we're happy for Nafisa, but it's going to impact us on the court this year. I think depending on how optimistic you are about a timeline for her to return, perhaps she'll be back for the playoffs or not. I'm perhaps on the most cautious about that, thinking about just the childbirth process, thinking about it with my family. So I'm definitely not counting on that, but it'd be great to have her. And then it's good to bring back Alicia Clarendon as well. So I feel like we're still trying to keep going with what the plan was. And I think there's still talent, right? Renaya Davis didn't play last year, so she's not going to be the Pizza Collier, but it'll be interesting to see what she could do. And we've done great in the draft in the past, so
you gotta practice your Italian to call up Chachi Zandelicini and call
Indiana,
Bridget Carlton too, because she's around.
And Carlton, right? Because we were guessing that we'd bring her back.
All right, guys, now it's just us. The league office is still here, so we can't do anything we want.
So Phoenix, we would like to talk with Sophie Cunningham and also Kia Nurse. I don't know if she's getting restricted offers elsewhere. Assuming we can suspend her this season, we have a lot of money to offer her, for the upcoming years.
On the Kia Nurse front, I just don't have enough information to say. I would. The thing is, like Bria Hartley, also she got hurt and she was kept on the roster and she was eventually able to play. So I don't know if they that's. I just think it's like a little
timeline's just different for a Nurse. I don't think she's going to play this year. But I'm fine to just leave that one
out there.
Yeah, the goal with Phoenix was just to basically run it back in terms of they felt like they were, we felt like we were able to, get to the finals and probably were a key injury away from seriously competing with Chicago.
Let's do Sophie Cunningham. Can we do that really quick?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. You guys did make her an unrestricted free agent, so
that is correct.
We need to do that.
We'd also like to talk to Sophie Cunningham in Vegas.
All right. So we're putting Sophie Cunningham is going on the table. She did not get for some reason. Well, what, she didn't get the option? They didn't pick up her option?
Correct.
Sins of the previous administration.
So they pick up her option. Now she's an unrestricted free agent instead of the restricted free agent that she would normally be. Obviously, she had a massive playoffs after that happened, so she is out there. So I'll let Phoenix give the first crack. What's your offer for Sophie Cunningham?
So Sophie, we think that you are a great fit here. Obviously, brought out the best in you during the playoffs last year, and we just want to run it back. And we feel like this is the very best way to do it is for you to return to Phoenix. So fortunately, you are aware of our situation. We have 4 maxes already on the books, so we can only offer you about 85 this year, but wink wink, we promise to take care of you after that.
Wow, the wink wink. A little shoulder nudge. Can I get it protected?
You need 85 protected?
Yeah. You guys didn't pick up you guys didn't use to extend me, and now I'm an unrestricted free agent.
Okay, yes, that's fine. We can protect the 85 this year. That's
okay,
fine.
Cool.
Yeah.
Anybody else want to beat that?
Las Vegas is prepared to offer 90,000 with the protection.
90,000 with the protection to be in Las Vegas.
Yeah, we need an off-ball shooter. So
that's sounding pretty good. As more money. Did Washington / Connecticut have something?
Washington is interested in Sophie Cunningham. We can offer about $90,000, but I think we could go up to $95,000. I will deflect to the league office though, because Washington's a little messy right now.
Currently, your maximum bid would be just shy of 115, but obviously you wouldn't want to do that. And we know Coach Tebow has a great history of finding league minimum players and late round draft picks and stuff. But so strictly speaking, it's not impossible to offer up to 115, but
you're going to want to leave room for the number 3 pick.
Yep.
Yeah.
That and then
which cuts 12 grand extra off.
Right. And then every kind of bottom of the barrel player you can find that isn't under 3 years of service, that's also going to ding you another 10,000. So
it's an equal offer between it's 90,000 from both Washington and Las Vegas.
But Sophie, assuming that it's only a 1-year deal, you could probably make it up on your next contract. And
yeah, but I could do the then I could do that.
very much in position to showcase you better than anybody else based on what happened over this past season.
But Las Vegas.
Think about it. Nurse is hurt. That is an opening in the starting lineup right there.
It is, but I mean, I can make 10 grand more and play in a situation that.
Wasn't it 85 versus 90?
Oh, it's 85 or you have 85 and that's 90 over here?
Yeah.
All right. How about we go Las Vegas? Can you get me to 100? If you can get me to 100, we're done here.
Nope, we can only offer what we can.
Washington?
But you'll be playing with
we just talked about Washington, sorry. Oh, fine. I'll go back to Phoenix.
There we go.
$5,000 and it is I'm always gonna get playing time because there's not that many teams. I am very upset about the whole I'm an unrestricted free agent thing, but the protected $85,000 is
that was a fair concession to demand considering what we did with your option.
Yes, it was not nice, and I'm still very upset about that. Alana Smith is also upset about that, but
yeah, well, she's not coming back. Don't worry about
it. Okay, and so that's Phoenix. So now I think Phoenix is about done. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. All right, I'm sorry for interrupting your previous.
Oh, don't worry about it. Yeah, the idea with Phoenix was just to find some defense on the wing to sort of replace what we got with Nurse last year, and we feel like we accomplished that with Bradford at the forward spot, and then Nia Odom in that trade with the Liberty. Obviously, we're not terribly interested in bringing rookies onto the roster this year, so that's totally fine. And we feel like we can capably run it back with this roster and get back to the finals and hopefully win this time.
All right. And LA?
So the goal with LA was to squeeze some restricted free agents out of these teams that were going to be capped out. We were not as interested in Diamond Shields. We were mostly interested in the Seattle restricted free agents. Mercedes Russell's price went way higher than we had anticipated, so that did not work out according to plan. And then we were simply out negotiated by the Seattle Storm regarding Jordin Canada. It was a little bit pricier than we had anticipated to try to move some of our protected contracts. So we elected to just let them run out this year instead of paying a premium in terms of draft assets to move on from them this year. So, this was supposed to be a 2-year rebuild process. We added another draft pick by moving on from Christy Tolliver. We are bringing Jasmine Walker in, who basically didn't play her entire rookie season. We've got Gabby Williams coming in. We've got a lot of young talent who we think can grow together. And that allows us to basically start fresh in the 2022 offseason, or the 2023, I should say, offseason.
Well, thank you very much. You can do, obviously you don't have to leave. I'm not kicking you out, but whenever you have to go, you can go. Okay. I don't think we should do any more players, honestly, at this point. I know that's kind of a bummer because there are a lot of players that would be interesting to talk about. Negotiation.
I was just going to say, we should probably just go through each team that's still on the call and just say, like, do you want to grab this person, this person, this person? I'm assuming a lot of them are going to be at the league minimum anyways, so they should be pretty quick.
Yeah.
Can I go first for Vegas?
Yeah.
All right. So Vegas, we would like to bring back Kia Stokes at the league minimum. We will be keeping we're going to sign our draft pick. And I don't think if Kayla Davis can come back into the league on a minimum contract, I will be happy to have her in Las Vegas.
Stokes is back. I don't know enough about Kayla Davis's situation.
Yeah, so it's Stokes, Kayla Davis, and we're going to sign our draft pick in the first round for this year.
Does New York want to, let's do this. I actually think this would be interesting for people to hear. Like, does New York want to talk to Marina Johannes really quick about coming back?
We don't have the space for her to come back, but we would be willing to hear any trade offers for the rights to Johannes.
Indiana. We talked to you before the podcast about our interest in her.
Yep. What pieces do you have? I can't offer any.
Well, you should talk to me first to make sure that she's interested in coming.
Would you be interested in playing in Indiana, Marine?
Yeah. So actually, what I would say is that since Johannes is a suspended contract expired player, she does not need to agree to a trade per se, but obviously she'd have to agree to sign once traded. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you need to convince me that I should come to the United States and that I should come to Indiana. So what do you got for me, Indiana?
Well, assuming you're actually willing to commit to showing up, we would be willing to offer you something in the range of, let's say, 100,000.
That's a good chunk of money. I would say, if you can get me up to 115, and we can do a 1 year, because we don't know the future, but 1 year for $115,000, I'll say I'm coming over. Barring obviously COVID situation that could change everything, but
understand that.
With that caveat, we'll do 115. Obviously, we won't do a protection because we don't. I'm telling you, we're going to show up to the camp.
I think we would do that. Yep, I got no problem paying that for 1 year.
Yeah, that's a good job. So now you guys got to work out.
But the problem is, then we don't have a hell of a lot to trade. I'm not giving you a first round pick for someone who's shown so little willingness to show up year after year. So after that, look at my roster. What would you be interested in?
That is a good question, because I was actually looking at the 10th round, the 10th overall pick, considering certain people aren't favorable of the players in this draft. We can just do Johannes for. Is there a second rounder?
No.
The problem is we don't have a second. You can have the first pick in the third round.
Better than nothing. All right.
Yeah, works for me.
All right, cool. All right, y'all. Do you guys want to wrap up your team? I mean, I'm just gonna look at the sheet. I think we're good. I'm getting tired, so I need to stop, and my dog's mad at me. So yeah, I think we're good. I mean, I feel really bad that we forgot about Monique Billings, and she's is she reserved or restricted? She's
restricted.
I do feel bad about that one. Okay, but whatever. We have to leave it as it were. So you guys want to wrap up your teams? We'll start with Richard.
Okay. In Chicago, I mean, we managed to bring back all the starters from a championship team. We've added Courtney Williams, who I think was good value at 120K. We do need still another backup post, who I think, given what's left on the free agent market, we'd get someone who's perfectly sort of useful to fill in as a backup. There's a Jessica Breland and an Emma Cannon, or even Kia Stokes, who I know Alfred signed, but she was an unrestricted free agent, so we would be able to make offers to someone like that to pick up an extra backup if necessary. And then you've got a championship team that's won a title already and should be pretty well set up for the next year. In Indiana, largely we struck out, to be honest. We wanted a 4, and there aren't many on the market, so we chased Miesemann, and we chased Hines Allen and didn't get either. Didn't get Bradford. So hopefully we would get the number 1 pick, and there would be more opportunities for our young players to develop, and then we go again next year and we reload.
Alfred, final thoughts on your teams?
Yeah, sure. So the New York Liberty took a very, very different path than what I was planning for. We had some money, so we were looking to possibly acquire one of the bigger name free agents. We were especially looking at bringing back Tina Charles, but she did not want to come back to New York. Mercedes Russell was indeed one of our actual targets in the beginning, and we ended up getting her, maybe at a little bit higher than we would have wanted to, but we just had a ton of money. We picked up Emma Miesemann, which I think would definitely be a plus. And we've just trimmed a little bit of the fat in terms of our roster. For Las Vegas, same thing there. Initially, what we were hoping for was to get Asia Wilson at the qualifying offer and not the max, because then that would have allowed us to acquire a max free agent in Las Vegas. But obviously, we still don't mind taking Asia Wilson any way we can get her. And we basically have everybody from last year, with the exception of Riquna and Angel McCoughtry. So I think Vegas is in a good spot there.
And Jacqueline, how do you think your teams did?
Well, cap space was definitely an issue for pretty much Washington. From Connecticut's perspective, I was willing to listen to different trades or go a different direction. Sticking with the same core team that we had last year, I'm pretty okay with that. I'm confident that we'll be able to work out those rotation issues, reminding people that Alyssa Thomas was still not healthy when she returned last year. So I'm happy from Connecticut's perspective. Looks like they still need about like one more player who they can probably pick up on a minimum contract. From Washington's perspective, it was pretty rough. They were pretty rough from a cap space perspective anyway. Don't have too many people signed to their roster right now. We don't want to look at this as a rebuilding year. Definitely going to still try to look toward this season with the playoffs in mind. One free agent who I was interested in for Washington was Beck Allen, who we did not talk about. Kind of there. On my worksheet, Beck Allen has kind of been a target. We would definitely be interested in taking her there. I was looking at all minimum players to fill up the rest of my roster. So with that kind of in mind, I think we would, try to offer Beck Allen something in the 93,000 range. Hopefully, she finds that appealing and comes over, but I think that would be, a good addition to Washington.
You know what? Let's put it on the books. Beck Allen, $93,000 to Washington. I'm doing that executive decision. Sorry, everybody, every other team. Sorry, Jacqueline. I wanted to give you another win.
Washington needs a win. We're definitely happy to have Maisha Hines-Allen back as well. Would have liked to have her at a discount, but I think she's definitely going to increase her value over the next couple of years, and happy that she'll be in Washington to help us build on that. And then in terms of some other players, someone we didn't talk about was Han Zhu, who I've always been super interested in. Would love to bring Han Zhu to Washington for the minimum contract. And then, Tebow can, work with a few others. I think Shatori Walker-Kimbrough could come back on the minimum. And that would be a good addition as well as possibly Stella Johnson, who is familiar in Washington. So kind of rough in terms of their cap space. Wasn't able to make that deal for Alicia Clark, but we still feel pretty good about our chances in at least competing to get back to the playoffs this year.
I guess the only person who hasn't evaluated the job they did was me. I think as a player agent for all of the players, it's pretty hard to manage competing interests and expectations. Also, I don't know these players personally. I haven't had any conversation with them. So it makes this job very difficult. And I surely think that the offseason will go much differently with all that information for each individual agent. I still think that I push a lot of the right buttons in each negotiation, get the best deals for each players. I think we did it realistically enough that some of these things will come up in negotiations for these free agents in the real WNBA offseason. But now that's all up to you. So if you're listening, just drop a comment. You've been here for so long. Just tell us what you think we did right, what you think we got wrong, and what we could do better for next time. I'd also like to take this time to thank all of our GMs. They are listed down below, and their socials are on herhoopstats.substack.com if you want to follow any of them, and I highly suggest that you follow all of them before free agency starts. Also, Jacob Mox deserves a specific shout out for the excellent job he did as our league office. You have no idea how much that helped this entire proceeding. And lastly, we want to thank you, the listener. We know that this is a long podcast and you're busy and you got a lot of content that you want to take in. So thanks for hanging out with us for as ever long as you did. Remember, there are chapter markers on YouTube and in the podcast descriptions if you want to go back and just listen to a single part of it. And we will have much, much, much more on the mock offseason and even more on the real offseason on herhoopstats.substack.com, on Twitter at herhoopstats, on Instagram at herhoopstats, and on our YouTube channel, which we hope to continue growing. So for everyone involved in the mock offseason and everyone at herhoopstats, thank you so much for joining us. This was a labor of love and we really enjoyed making it for you. And we hope that you have a lovely holiday and that you'll join us for much more women's basketball coverage.